Yo, man, what's going on, y'all? It's Nightmare Comics 1. And, this is my thoughts on the Walking Dead finale, man. Alright, let's see. Let's see if I can do this without being a jerk. Hold on, let me get somewhere where it's more quiet. Got some noise around me. Alright, let's rock. First things first, alright? I have a love-hate relationship with this goddamn show. Like on the one hand, I like that they take things from the comics and they change them enough to where it's like, oh, I don't know what's coming next. Yeah, you can still tell it is the spirit of the source material. Like, I've never read A Song of Fire and Ice. That's the books based on Game of Thrones. And most people tell me that those books, like the show, like it just plays off the books. You know what I mean? Like, it's still A Song of Fire and Ice, but they kind of do their own thing. Well, this season's gonna be interesting because they hadn't caught up to the show. But yeah, I mean, no, and it's still the spirit of the novels. Yet, it's something totally on its own. And I think that's kind of cool. And I always kind of admired when The Walking Dead did things like that, and that's why I really, like, I told myself I wasn't going to watch this no more. And then somebody told me they were doing No Way Out. And I was like, oh, shit, I got to watch. So me and my good buddy, Phaleb25, we watched almost the whole season. Like, I missed, like, some episodes here and there. After Glenn died, I didn't watch for like a few weeks. So after they teased the Glenn thing, I was like, man, fuck out of here with this. So I didn't watch for like a few weeks. Yeah, I mean, until the mid-season finale, which I thought was good. And I thought the entire back half of this season, it's like they finally heard what I've been saying. Like, this is at its best when y'all just play off of what came, off of what's in the books. It's like, I was like, this is perfect. All right, let me get to the good with this finale. They did a very good job of building the tension. I think that it was a really uneasy feeling because they had teased that Negan was going to come the week before. And, the whole episode had a very uneasiness to it. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, my God, what's going to happen? Because, like, me, reading the books, by the way, I'm an avid fan of the Walking Dead graphic novel. We'll get into that when I get to my complaint, okay? My main complaint. But yeah, it was they did a good job of building tension because I did not know what was gonna happen. Like even the use of the music, the way the way the saviors kind of manipulated the trail or whatnot. You know what I mean? It was like they had a plan of what to do the entire time. I thought it was great. I thought they did a good job of building the tension. I thought Andrew Lincoln's acting, man, that pretty much I think the whole cast, minus two people that I'll get to, the acting was really, really strong. You know what I mean? Like the entire episode. I thought that the part where the saviors finally surrounded them, I thought that was very well done. I thought that Andrew Lincoln's acting, like he legit looked terrified, and he had to because that's how they did it in the source material. Like he he looked completely, like he looked white as a ghost. He was trembling. It was pretty amazing to see. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yeah, like that. That's how you sell a big bad. I thought Andrew Lincoln did amazing with that scene. I thought his acting was really strong in this episode. Really fucking strong. Like legit. Like let me praise this dude for a minute. Because when this show first started, I was like, I like the dude as Rick. He's not bad. He's not bad. But I just think he's not bad. That's how I felt. But I think this season in particular, he has stepped his game up so much as an actor, man. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like legit in this episode, I was like, yo, he's really playing this up. It's really dope. Let's see, what else did I like? Yeah, what else did I like? I like Eugene. Eugene, like they pretty much set up that he was willing to sacrifice himself if something bad happened. Yeah, I like how they played that up. That was cool. The moment he had with Abraham, I thought was great. Yeah, where Abraham pretty much embraced him. Like, I didn't think you were able to do anything, but now, you that dude, because he asked him, like, you know, why didn't you let me drive the truck back in the day? And he said, because I didn't think you could do it. I thought that was cool. I thought all that was great. All right, let's see. What else? What else am I forgetting? What else am I forgetting? Can I hit that loud ass motorcycle? Like I'm outside in my yard right now. But yeah, you know, what am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? I don't know. I can't think of what else I'm forgetting. I don't know. I don't know what else I'm forgetting. But yeah, that's if I think. Oh yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is Negan. How I forget that? He was awesome. Like, he played that up so well. It was like I was watching Negan in live action, which is so fucking cool. He was so great. He was so awesome. He did the best he could without being able to swear the way he does in the comics. I thought he was so great. He looked the part. He sounded, you know, how you would imagine Negan would sound. He was fucking amazing. Y'all ready for me to go in now? All right, I'm not gonna go to the obvious thing. I'm gonna say that for the end. But Carol and Morgan did not need to be in this episode. Like, oh yeah, another thing I like the subtleties to the kingdom. You know, so I guess that's why they were in it. But I thought that was cool. Like, you know, because a lot of people I talked to was like, what's the deal with these dudes on these horses with his armor and stuff? I was like, oh, okay, they're actually doing the kingdom. Now, I wonder if Ezekiel's going to be in this. I'm sure he will. But I doubt, you know what I'm saying, a certain character, I guess you could say, will be in this. I really doubt it. Because I wonder how they're going to do that. I don't think they'll be able to do that. If they pull it off, that'd be awesome. But I don't think so. Anyway. Yeah, Kara and Morgan didn't need to be in this episode. This could have been, like, their whole story could have been the first episode of episode 7. Yeah, I remember of season 7. Like, that whole, you know, Morgan going to find her, Morgan looking for her. They could have cut that completely out of this episode. They could have even ended it on the same note that they ended it on with them meeting the dudes from the kingdom. That could have been the cliffhanger. People were like, hey, who's these guys? You know what I mean? They could have cut that whole segment out because it just seemed out of place in this whole episode. It seemed out of fucking place. It didn't need to be 90 minutes because, well, it's not actually 90 minutes plus 90 minutes plus commercials, but it didn't need to be extended. They didn't need to tack on 30 more minutes to the episode. It didn't need to happen. It just seemed like, you know, like I said, it could have cut out the Kara and Morgan stuff and it would have, you know, it would have ironed itself out. And I think if they were going to do what they ended up doing, it would have lightened the blow a little bit. Oh, another thing I like Stephen Ugg is that character he played. You know, if you don't know, he played Trevor Phillips in Grand Theft Auto 5. I thought that was cool. I thought he was great. All right, now, let's get to the thing that I'm sure that a lot of people that will click on this video want to hear me talk about. The fucking cliffhanger. Look, man, the thing that has been upsetting me about television, I'm not just gonna heap it on The Walking Dead. I'm not, even though they're gonna get the shit, but a lot of TV shows they do a lot of ploys to get people talking. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of things like a lot of bait to get viewers to come back and things like that. They did a cliffhanger last week that yeah, it bothered me, but, you know, fine. Okay, whatever. They did, you know, Daryl get shot, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Fine. You know what I mean? Fine. You do that? Fine. You know what I mean? I was a little disappointed by that, but I wasn't upset. I was like, okay, fine. We got an episode next week. I'm sure we're going to get that answer rather quickly. You know what I mean? I just wish they wouldn't rely on the fucking cliffhanger. Why do that after there was 90 minutes of an episode? You know what I mean? And you even you even did the whole Negan monologue, and they did all this thing hyping up this cataclysmic thing for the, you know what I'm saying, for the cast in this episode. Like, this was going to change how, you know what I'm saying, how we look at everything. You know what I mean? This is going to change everything about the show. You hype up this moment to do a cheap cliffhanger. Like, and you had the time. I don't want to hear they didn't have the time to show us who got killed. Yeah, I mean, you had the time to show the character get bashed in the head and blood go down his face. You could have showed us who it was. Even if you didn't show the entire murder, you could have showed the first hit. You could have showed exactly who it was that was getting hit. Or you didn't even have to show him swing. You did not have to show him swing. All you had to do was show him point to whoever it was. Like, you know, when he said it. Like that, like there's a splash page in the comic where he does, like, all of that was pretty much accurate. Cause they all, like all the main characters that we care about, they all kneel in front of Negan. He goes eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You know, he chooses. You know what I mean? Like in the book or whatever. And then there's a splash page of when he chooses character he chooses. By the way, spoiler, if you haven't never read the comic, it's Glenn. You know what I mean? So he chooses Glenn. You know what I mean? And there's a splash page of Lucille pointing at Glenn. And you could have just ended the episode on that. Like, if you was running low on time, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of two things. It's either a cheap ploy to get people to watch next season, and by the way, I'm going to get to that, or they have no idea who they're going to kill. And I think that's even worse. They just knew that it was like, okay, well, we announced Negan was part of the cast. I guess we got to show him, and we got to let people know he's going to kill somebody, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just just maddening to me because they did so much right. Like, this is what gets me about this. This is what grinds my gears all the time about this show, because they did so much right. And to end on that cliffhanger, it's such a fuck you, man. It really is. It's a fuck you to people that were watching. You know what I mean? And people that were, you know what I'm saying, like, invested. Like, it's such a big fuck you, man. Like, you know, and I was watching, you know, like I said, with my friend, you know, my buddy Faylove25, and she goes, well, I don't know, what you were expecting, and why are you so angry, and why are you, you know what I mean, why are you so upset? Like, man, because they didn't need to do that. Like, they didn't need to, like, the cliffhanger, they did not need to do that, you know what I'm saying? And that's just how I feel. Like, everything that led up to it was so good. They did a good job of building what Negan was, you know what I mean? Everything before, like with the Negan stuff, the stuff with them trying to, you know, help Maggie or whatever, all of that was great. You know what I mean? Like I said, if Karen Morgan weren't in this episode, all of that was great. You know what I mean? And then to end on that note, it's so frustrating, man. It's such a cop-out. It leaves like a sour taste in my mouth. And the thing that made that work in the comic is that it was all one shot. Like, we was like, okay, look at this Negan guy. Okay, this Negan guy, whatever. You know, they've been talking about him for, you know, months and months. Here he goes. Okay, this Negan guy. And then he takes away a dude that we thought was safe. You know what I mean? Like, he'd been around since issue 2. And it was issue 100. We was like, this dude is safe. You know what I mean? And even how and they're not gonna, I know they're gonna heavily edit it. Like, bro, I'm not, like, you know, I know they're gonna heavily edit it. But, like, the way they took him out in the book, you know what I mean? It was so brutal. It was long. It was emotional because of everything that happened leading up to it. It was Maggie there with his adopted daughter, Sophia. Yeah, Sophia's alive in the book. With his adopted daughter, Sophia, and the whole cast. Everybody we grown to love, from Rick to Michonne to Carl to everyone that we love was right there. You know what I'm saying? Watching this shit go down. And I guess, you know what I'm saying, and they did, you know, tease that or whatever, but it was just like, Negan's here and he's ruthless, you know what I mean? All we know is Negan's here and he's kind of a jerk, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, and I guess, you know, they did, you know, I guess I don't know, man, it's just the cliffhanger left me sour because they didn't need to do it. They didn't need to do it. Like, they really did not need to do it. If you didn't know who was going to get killed, like, real talk, if they didn't know who they were going to kill yet, they didn't even have to show him swing. They didn't even have to show Negan, to be honest with you. Like, I think if the cliffhanger was, like, you know, like, oh, let's, you know, here comes the man, you know, time for y'all to, like, Trevor's character, I don't remember the dude's name right now, but he was like, you know, it's time for y'all to meet the man himself. And then it cut to black. I would have been like, oh, wow. Okay, well, I got to see what Negan gonna do next season in their premiere. If you say he's going, like, he says, I'm gonna beat the hell out of one of y'all. You know what I mean? And he does it. You know what I'm saying? Show us who it is. That's all I'm saying. Show us who it is. you don't need to do the typical, let's try and, grab some ratings real quick. You didn't need to do that, man. And it just left a sour taste in my mouth. I don't know if I'm gonna come back. I'm be real with you. I'm not like I watched the show because I'm such a big fan. Like I know this is all over the place, but I watched the show because I'm such a big fan of the comic. And like legit, like it's like one of my favorite comic book runs of all time. Like if y'all don't know this, it's Nightmare Comics 1. And if you're on this channel, you know I'm a huge fan of comic books. You know what I mean? Okay, loud ass truck, loud motherfucker. But anyway, yeah, I'm such a huge fan of comics. You know what I mean? And The Walking Dead, legit. Like I've been to superhero comics, to crime thrillers, all this stuff. You know what I mean? I read everything from Transmetropolitan to Jeff Johns' Green Lantern to Superman, Kurt Busiek's Superman, Mark Waid's Daredevil. All this stuff. Brian Michael Bendis' Daredevil, Frank Miller. Frank Miller's Batman, Grant Morrison's Batman. I had my problems with it, obviously. I've read so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? Preacher to Scalped to Fables to motherfucking Cerebus to the Crow graphic novel, Watchmen. Yeah, I'd be here all day. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how many comics I consume. If you follow me on Twitter, every Wednesday and Thursday, I'm pretty much going in with the reviews. You know what I mean? And The Walking Dead legit has held my attention since 2003. This is one of my favorite series of all time. That's why people go, when you complain and you say the show is no good, why do you keep watching? And I'm like, because I am so loyal to the comic. Like, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. And they do some really cool things. I'm not saying they have to follow the source material to a T. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying capture the spirit of the source material. Rob Kirkman would not have done that. If Rob Kirkman knew he was running out of space in said issue, he would not have teased something like that. He would have gave it to us right there. You know what I'm saying? He would not have done that. And they don't need to do that because people watch this fucking show. It is very upsetting. I'm not going to sit here and ramble on anymore. I've gone on for 17 minutes saying the same shit. Look, man, the episode itself was pretty good. And you know what I'm saying? It all averages out to pretty good. Because I had my issues with it. But man, that ending left me so upset. It's almost enough for me to be like, it was terrible. But it wasn't terrible, you know what I mean? Man, it's just, it's so disheartening. They did need to do it. I liked so much about the episode. Like, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was so great. And he talked about Negan, and you could tell, like he said, he prepared for Negan, and prepared to play this character and all that stuff. And you can tell he read up on Negan. You know what I'm saying? He read the All Out War story. You can tell he did. You could just tell. Like, you can tell he was taking it seriously, and he was putting his all into it. He seemed scary. You know what I'm saying? He even seemed charismatic. You know what I mean? Which is the point. You know what I mean? That's what makes him so cool. That while being scary, Negan is also charismatic, and he did that. It's just that fucking cliffhanger, man. Goodbye, y'all. I've rambled on enough. Peace.